Hello, 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 and welcome to the Cels and Circuits podcast. I am your host, Chibeze Anakor, and on this episode, we'll be talking about my most anticipated animation, tech, and video games of 2023. And so without further ado, let's jump right into it. All right, so let's just jump right into my most anticipated animation of 2023. Now, keep in mind that this is not a comprehensive list. As usual, there could be some surprises throughout the year and some shadow drops, maybe even some some surprises or shadow drops, maybe even some like April Fool's pranks like Adult Swim does. So like anything could happen, but this list is not comprehensive. Like not everything, or this isn't representative of everything that's going to come out in 2023. In regards to animation, I feel like I should preface it by saying that. But now, let's just jump right into it. So, as far as new series go, we're going to start off with Unicorn Warriors Eternal. That is an animated series from Genndy Tartakovsky of Samurai Jack and Primal fame. I mean, what more can I say? I mean, it's Genndy Tartakovsky. I mean, he's pretty much one of the most respected creators in the animation industry. So I'm very much looking forward to Unicorn Warriors Eternal. We haven't gotten any teaser trailer for it, which I'm very surprised by that because Cartoon Network had their 30th anniversary thing, but they didn't show like any teaser or anything for the show. We left that 30th anniversary celebration knowing just as much as we did going into it. So I feel like that would have been a perfect opportunity to show, hey, despite all of the bullshit that our parent company put us through in 2022, we want you to know that we're still alive and kicking and we still got, good stuff coming, and Unicorn Warriors Eternal is one of them, But that's just me. That's how I would have handled it if I had something to show. Which I'm sure by now they gotta at least have something. But anyway, yeah, Unicorn Warriors Eternal. Be on the lookout for that. It's gonna come out sometime later this year on Cartoon Network and HBO Max, or whatever the Frankenstein combined streaming service of HBO Max and Discovery Plus is going to be. But yeah, and up next we got Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, which is right around the corner. Premieres February 10th on Disney Channel. And the first 6 episodes will be available on Disney Plus on February 15th. So be on the lookout for Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. I'm excited for this one because the animation looks awesome. And I believe Lawrence Fishburne is producing it. And I've loved Lawrence Fishburne in quite a lot of stuff like The Matrix and John Wick and just a lot of other movies that he's been in. So I'm very much excited for Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Also, I mean, Moon Girl's a black girl. I mean, you know, gotta support our black superheroes, you know? And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, besides like the the motion comics and stuff like that, I believe this is the first black superhero cartoon since Static Shock, which was probably like 23 years ago. I believe that came out in 2000. So, yeah, we are long overdue for a superhero show with a black protagonist, or a superhero cartoon, excuse me, with a black protagonist. So I am very much excited for Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, and I think that's probably going to be the first big animation W of 2023, because Lord knows that Western animation could use all the W's it can get. But anyway, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, it's right around the corner. Look for it. And yeah, let's move on to Scavenger's Reign. Now, Scavenger's Reign is an HBO Max original that's coming out later this year. I don't know whether that's going to be before the Discovery Plus merger or after the Discovery Plus merger, but either way, it's coming to that service later this year, and I'm excited for it because I saw the short that or for Scavengers back in 2016 on Adult Swim's Toonami. So it looked amazing. It looked gorgeous. And from what I've seen of Scavenger's Reign from the trailer, or for the teaser that they put out last year, it looks absolutely gorgeous. And so I am very, very excited for Scavenger's Reign. And that will probably be the series that makes me temporarily resubscribe to HBO Max after they removed all the content that they did last year, and I unsubscribed to HBO Max because of it. Scavenger's Reign may pull me back in, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, Scavenger's Reign, definitely look forward to that. Look out for that later this year. And then next up, we got Kizazi Moto Generation Fire. Now, this is an anthology of shorts that are actually created in various countries within Africa, which is very important to me as a Nigerian American, or as someone of Nigerian descent, basically. I think Africa, or the African continent, gets ignored way, way too much in media nowadays. And I'm glad that we're now getting more books, more TV shows, and even some movies that are heavily centered in African culture, and African mythology. So I'm very much excited for Kizazi Moto Generation Fire. Again, it's an anthology of animated shorts, so think of like The Animatrix, or Batman Gotham Knight, or Halo Legends, or Love, Death, and Robots, things like that. It's basically going to be like that, or at least I hope so. And I mean, honestly, I can't wait. I can't wait to see it. Hopefully, with Black History Month coming up, Disney can show us something in regards to Kizazimoto Generation Fire. I'm surprised that Disney didn't use like the massive premiere of Black Panther Wakanda Forever to promote Kizazimoto Generation Fire, even with a teaser. Like, that was such a missed opportunity on Disney's part, but that's just me. Anyway, Kizazimoto Generation Fire, look out for it on Disney Plus later this year. Next up, we have Castlevania Nocturne. Castlevania Nocturne is a spin-off of the well-received Netflix series Castlevania, based on the video game based on the video game franchise of the same name. So I'm very much looking forward to Castlevania Nocturne. I enjoyed the hell out of Netflix's Castlevania. I think it was an awesome series. Now, I haven't really played the video games, but I can tell you that the animation was gorgeous, the action was awesome, the storyline was great, and just pretty much everything about it was very good. And it's probably one of the best video game adaptations to have ever existed. And so if you haven't seen the original Netflix Castlevania series, I highly recommend watching it. It's on Netflix, and Castlevania Nocturne is also going to come to Netflix sometime this year, hopefully. So be on the lookout for that. And then the next series I want to talk about is Iwaju. So this one is also a series that's based in African myth, and African or it has a lot of African lore in it. So this series was a collaboration between Disney and a Pan-African comic company called Kugali Media. And so I was very curious about it when I heard that they were collaborating, because Kugali has quite a few comics that have been released, and that, center on like some piece of African myth or African lore and things like that. So I'm pretty excited about Iwaju, though I will say the character designs of the animated series looking kind of rough, but I'll reserve my final judgment for after I've actually seen the show. So that should be coming out later this year on Disney Plus. So look out for that. And then, next up is Batman Caped Crusader. So Batman Caped Crusader is a Batman animated series from Bruce Timm, who did Batman the Animated Series back in the 90s, and also J.J. Abrams of like the recent Star Wars trilogy fame, or quite a lot of other movies like Super 8 and things like that. So I'm pretty excited just from like those two names. And like, I am pretty upset that HBO Max passed on this show because how do you pass on a animated Batman series with Bruce Timm and J.J. Abrams attached to it? Like, that just blows my mind that HBO Max passed on it, but they are shopping it to other services, and it looks like the front runner may be Amazon Prime, because Amazon Prime Video, if you don't know, has has a deal with Warner Brothers over a bunch of DC animated series. So it would make sense for Batman Caped Crusader to go to Amazon. And I hope that it does. I hope that it goes somewhere, because I want to see this series released. And it looks like or if it is going to be released, it's probably going to be this year or maybe even sometime next year. Hopefully it's this year, but we'll see. So be on the lookout for Batman Caped Crusader. I very much want to see this series, as it'll be a spiritual successor to Batman the Animated Series. And then the last two that I'm going to talk about in the new series are Hell's Paradise, which is based on, or it's an anime based on the manga of the same name, which I haven't read, but don't tell anyone that. And also Uzumaki, which is based on the Junji Ito story of the same name. And Uzumaki is actually a Toonami original, so I'm pretty excited about that. Toonami is definitely in need of good content, because Crunchyroll is acting brand new after they merged with Funimation, so they haven't really been very cooperative with Toonami on content. So Toonami's been leaning more into originals like Fena Pirate Princess and Blade Runner Black Lotus and Shenmue. But all of those, I don't know if all of those got written off for tax purposes last year, with all of the BS going on over at Warner Brothers Discovery, but yeah, I do think that Toonami needs some good content, and I'm hoping that Uzumaki can definitely kick that off this year. Because I don't know if they can air any of the other series that I just mentioned. So yeah, Uzumaki, I'm definitely looking forward to that. It's been delayed so much, so hopefully it comes out this year. And yeah, all right. So next up, we got the continuing series. I'm very excited about, or the first one that I'm going to talk about is one that I'm heavily anticipating, and that's Invincible Season 2. I am looking forward to Invincible Season 2. I enjoyed Season 1 so much, and I believe that Invincible is one of the top rated programs on Prime Video. So if you haven't seen Invincible Season 1, I highly recommend watching it. That's coming out, or Season 2 is coming out late 2023, according to a recent trailer that Amazon had shared about it. So highly recommend watching Invincible. And I'm going to be on the lookout for Season 2. And yeah, next up, is Star Wars The Bad Batch Season 2, and I know that's already airing, and I need to catch up on it, but Star Wars The Bad Batch is basically a spin-off of Star Wars The Clone Wars. It takes place pretty much directly after the events of the Clone Wars, and like it's animated in the exact same style as the Clone Wars. I of course mean the 2008 CGI Clone Wars series, which is the series that got me into Star Wars in the first place. So I am very much, looking forward to seeing the Bad Batch and catching up to it. And yeah, I mean, honestly, I want to see more stuff like the Bad Batch, and more animated series in the Star Wars universe. Maybe one day we can get a 2D animated series in the Star Wars universe, because the last one we had was, correct me if I'm wrong, the Genndy Tartakovsky Star Wars Clone Wars from 2003. So it's been 20 years since we've had a 2D Star Wars animated series, but that's beside the point. Anyway, I am looking forward to Star Wars The Bad Batch Season 2. And so that's on Disney Plus right now. You could definitely go watch it. And yeah, next up is another Star Wars series, Star Wars Visions Season 2. And Star Wars Visions is an anthology series, much like the ones that I mentioned when I was talking about Kizazi Moto Generation Fire. So Star Wars Visions was basically a bunch of shorts from different studios in Japan, and a bunch of anime shorts from different studios in Japan, and each of them did a great job. I think that they all had their unique stories to tell, and some of them definitely incorporated Japanese culture into Star Wars very well. And honestly, I can't wait to see what season 2 brings, or what short season 2 brings, especially because Disney is going outside of Japan. They're branching out into other parts of the world, including Africa, for Star Wars Vision Season 2. So I'm very much excited to see what shorts come out of each of these countries. So yeah, look out for Star Wars Visions Season 2. That's going to be later this year on Disney Plus. And then one continuing anime that I want to shout out is Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. I'm very much looking forward to Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. I very much enjoyed watching Season 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen. So yeah, I mean, what more can I say? It's based on a manga of the same name from Shonen Jump. It's animated by MAPPA, which has been doing an incredible job as of late, animating various series. So yeah, what more can I really say about Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2? I'm very much looking forward to that. So that's coming out later this year. Be on the lookout for that. And then as far as movies go, there are only two that I'm looking forward to this year. One of them is, of course, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I love Into the Spider-Verse. That was an amazing movie. I even own it on Blu-ray. It's that good. So it's probably one of my favorite animated movies of all time, and easily one of the best superhero movies of all time. And yeah, that's including all of the live action MCU and everything. Like, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is definitely one of the best superhero movies of all time. So I'm very excited to see the sequel to that, which is Across the Spider-Verse, and just the impact that Into the Spider-Verse had on the animation industry is just incredible. Like, you have Japanese animators being like, hey, this is what we have to beat. We have to strive to beat Into the Spider-Verse. And I think that's honestly very inspiring, and I'm glad to see that kind of motivation in the animation industry. So yeah, very much looking forward to Across the Spider-Verse. That's coming out, I believe, in June of this year. I could be wrong, but definitely look out for Across the Spider-Verse. I think it's going to be an awesome movie. And then last but not least, is an anime movie, and that's Psycho-Pass Providence, which is a movie to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of Psycho-Pass. And I enjoyed Psycho-Pass season 1. I think it was, or at the time, or when I watched it, I thought it was probably like my generation's Ghost in the Shell. Though I could probably see like Ghost in the Shell fans probably getting mad at me for saying that, but I thought it was a pretty good, or I thought Psycho-Pass season 1 was probably one of my favorite anime of the 2010s. Season 2 was all right, but it wasn't as good as season 1. And then season 3, I haven't really seen because I've watched Psycho-Pass dubbed. And because season 3 of Psycho-Pass is in Amazon jail, it hasn't been dubbed yet. And no one has picked it up to dub it. So not Sentai, not Funimation. Well, I guess now Crunchyroll. So yeah, I am behind on Psycho-Pass, but once I watch season 3 and catch up, I'll be ready for Providence, and I'm very much looking forward to Providence. Wow, I can't talk today. And I hope that Providence is a good movie. But yeah, that's pretty much what I can think of that I am looking forward to in terms of animation. Do you think I should be looking forward to something else? Let me know. Let me know what you think I should be looking forward to. Let me know what you're looking forward to in terms of animation in 2023 on social media or on Discord, and we can continue the conversation there. But that's it for this topic, and I'll see you in the next one. Up next, we'll get into the most anticipated tech of 2023. And then after that, we'll get into the most anticipated video games of 2023. The Cels and Circuits podcast will be right back. All right, so next up, we're going to talk about my most anticipated tech of 2023. And to start off, we're going to go with hardware. So one of the tech items that I'm most excited about for 2023 is the Pixel tablet. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with Google and its products because I like Google's products due to them saving me time and a lot of effort in finding what I need. But at the same time, Google unfortunately reminds us that they can take away a service at any time, even if you like it, and you're just gonna have to accept that. And the most recent example is, of course, Stadia, which I really enjoyed using, but that's beside the point. I am still excited for the Pixel tablet simply because it'll have a tensor chip. Now, whether it's the first generation or the second generation one, I don't know. But either way, it's going to have quite a lot of power, and I'm going to be interested in having a tablet having an Android tablet that's finally capable of doing more than maybe 2 tasks at a time, because I like something like the Nokia T20, but the thing is that Nokia's tablets are very underpowered, and I do like that it has stock Android, or at least the Pixel experience. The Pixel tablet has the Pixel experience on top of Android 13. So I'm very excited for that. And it's going to have the power that I need to do more stuff on it than just, watching things. I would also like to, do some work on it, and maybe even edit some videos using LumaFusion, because the tensor will definitely have enough power to do that. So I'm very excited for the Pixel tablet, and also not a lot of Android tablets on the market just have that stock experience. You have Samsung doing their thing with their tablets, you have Lenovo doing their thing with their tablets with all these different skins, and then apparently OnePlus is also going to release a tablet, and that's going to have its own skin. So I'm more used to the stock experience, and the Pixel experience is very close to that. And so I really value that, and that's part of the reason why I'm very excited about the Pixel tablet. So yeah, looking forward to that. It should be coming sometime this year, whether it's at Google I/O in either May or June, or maybe it'll be sometime after that when they launch the Pixel 8 and 8 Pro. All I know is the Pixel tablet is coming this year, according to Google. So I really, really hope that they strike a home run with this, and I even want them to have a keyboard attachment to it, simply because it'll have enough power to do work stuff. So, yeah. Pixel tablet. Look out for it later this year. And then next up is the Pixel Watch 2. I am rocking the first Pixel Watch, which came out this past October, but I'll be lying to you if I say that I wish there wasn't more power under the hood, because I wish there was more power under the hood for this tablet, for this watch. And also I wish the battery life was better. So I hope that both of those things will be fixed with a potential Pixel Watch 2. Maybe they get a new processor, and with that processor comes better battery life. Who knows? But I hope that's the case. And I'm very much looking forward to the Pixel Watch 2. And so next up is a product that's already out at the time of recording this, and that is the Razer Edge. Now, I want to get my hands on it to review it and just play games on it, because I've had 2 Android handheld gaming devices that I've been using for the past year, and those 2 are the AYN Odin Pro and the Logitech G Cloud. And the AYN Odin Pro, that is a great device. The only gripe I have with it is that because it's more geared towards emulation and retro emulation, the face buttons are in the Nintendo layout, and I would rather have them in the Xbox layout. So that's probably the biggest gripe that I have with them. And so I had to put stickers on them with the buttons in the Xbox layout. Though I did order some replacement buttons or on Etsy, and those should be coming in soon, and hopefully I can install them on the AYN Odin Pro, and I can finally use those with the Xbox layout. But anyway, the Razer Edge. The Razer Edge, it's basically going to be like a almost 7-inch tablet. That's basically the aspect ratio of most phones nowadays, with a Razer Kishi controller attached to both sides of the device. So, and it's also going to have the Snapdragon G3X processor from Qualcomm, which will basically make it the most powerful Android-based handheld. And since that will most likely be the case, I'm very excited to try it out and, play some cloud gaming on it, and also some native Android gaming on it. I'm not really all that into emulation, so I don't really care about that, but to those who do, more power to you. But yeah, the Razer Edge, I'm very excited, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. There are just some other things that I gotta get before I get the Razer Edge. But last but not least, for the hardware section, is the next TicWatch Pro device. I don't know if it's going to be the TicWatch Pro 4. There are rumors that it's actually going to be called the TicWatch Pro 5. I don't know why they would skip 4 if that's the case, but regardless, the next Tick Watch should be interesting because it's going to be the first one using the Qualcomm W5 Plus chip, I believe this was called. And if that's the case, then it may end up being the most powerful Wear OS smartwatch. And then also with the TicWatch Pro devices, they also have good battery life, with up to like 2 to 3 days of battery life. So, or because of the dual screen design of it. So I think that'll be awesome if that's the case, and it may even best the Pixel Watch, but we'll see. And then as far as software and services goes, not a whole lot. It's really just two things that I'm excited about this year. And the first one being the fast or free ad-supported streaming television. That's what FAST stands for. That service from Warner Brothers Discovery. So think of Pluto TV, but instead of being made by Paramount, it's actually made by Warner Brothers Discovery. And just thinking of the sheer brands that are under Warner Brothers Discovery, especially in terms of animation, you have Cartoon Network, you have Adult Swim, you have DC. I mean, just like from those three alone, like that would present such interesting content. And then you also have sub brands of those, like maybe there could be a Toonami channel. Maybe they could bring back the WB. Oh, or maybe even bring back Kids WB. So like there are a lot of possibilities with a Warner Brothers Discovery service that's like Pluto TV or Tubi. And I'm very interested in seeing how that plays out. Hopefully they don't screw it up like Warner has screwed up HBO Max's reputation as one of the best streaming services. It's now kind of known as one of the worst streaming services. So I hope that they don't make the same mistakes that they did with HBO Max with this free service. But we'll see. So look out for that. That hopefully should come before the end of this year. But yeah, I'll be very interested in seeing how that shakes out. And the next thing I want to talk about is Spoutable. And so Spoutable is a social media network that's basically, or it's a Twitter alternative, and it's being powered by the Bot Sentinel, which is an organization that monitors bot activity on Twitter. Now they're making their own platform, and I'm excited for it, simply because Twitter has been such a cesspool ever since Elon Musk took over, and so I'm very much looking forward to Spoutable, and that's coming out February 1st, so it's right around the corner. In fact, by the time this episode goes live, it'll be out in 2 days. And so Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to Spoutable. It seems like it's going to be a pretty good platform, and from people who have beta tested it, they've said good things about it, and there are a lot of notable people on there already. So I'm very much looking forward to it. And when Spoutable drops, you can follow Cells and Circuits on it, because I will definitely make sure to create a Cells and Circuits account. So look out for that. And I'll edit the show notes to include it once Spoutable comes out on February 1st. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my most anticipated tech of 2023. Let me know what yours or what your most anticipated tech of 2023 is on social media or on Discord, and we can continue the conversation there. But that's it for this topic, and I'll catch you in the next one. Up next, we'll get into our most anticipated video games of 2023. The Cells and Circuits podcast will return in a moment. All right, so last up, we're going to talk about my most anticipated video games of 2023. Now, this is a very short list, so I'm just going to go over them pretty quickly. One of them is The Plucky Squire, which looks to be a 3D platformer that looks gorgeous and is just full of color and very vibrant. And I'm a sucker for 3D platformers, so I'm very, very hyped for The Plucky Squire. And that should be coming out sometime this year. Next up is Disney Speedstorm. Now, Disney Speedstorm is basically kind of like a Mario Kart alternative, if you think of it that way, but it's free to play. And I don't know if it's going to be cross-play or not. I think it is, but I'm not sure. But if it is crossplay, that would be wonderful, especially for people who don't game on Nintendo platforms, or people who would rather play on non-Nintendo platforms. So yeah, hopefully Disney Speedstorm comes out sooner rather than later, because I would like to, I would like to just race or do a lot of casual races as my favorite Disney characters. But that's just me. So yeah, look for Disney Speedstorm. It's probably going to come out this year, but we'll see. And then next up is Street Fighter 6. Now, I suck at fighting games. I'm not going to hold you. I absolutely suck at fighting games, but I still love playing them. And Street Fighter 6 looks amazing. But I'm worried about the kind of roster that it'll have at launch. But we'll see. We'll see once the game comes out. Hopefully Akuma is actually in the game, and not a DLC character, because he was a DLC character in Street Fighter V, I believe, and he wasn't even a DLC character in Tekken, which is owned by another company. So that was pretty strange. But anyway, I'm still looking forward to Street Fighter 6. And I'm also looking forward to playing as Kimberly and getting to know her moveset, because she's a new character. And yeah, I think those are the reasons why I'm excited for Street Fighter 6. So look out for that. I believe it's coming out in June of this year. I could be wrong, but sometime in the summer. Last up is Forza Motorsport. Now, Xbox just had their developer direct, where they showed off Forza Motorsport, but they didn't give out a release date. They just said it's coming out in 2023. I'm hoping that it's going to come out in the first half of 2023, but we'll see. It may be pushed back to the second half, which, if it is, that's okay. Delay the game if you need to, and just so it'll be a better game. So yeah, I'm very excited for Forza Motorsport. I enjoyed playing Forza Horizon 5, and I still come back to it every now and then. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to Forza Motorsport. It'll be the first Forza Motorsport game that I play, and I know it's more of the sim genre, but I'll see, or I'm excited to try it out and see how I like it, or if I like it. And the best part about it is, since it's an Xbox first-party title, it's going to be on Game Pass. So I don't have to drop $70 on it when it releases. So that is going to be pretty exciting. So look out for Forza Motorsport. It's coming out sometime this year. I'm excited to try it out, and it just looks gorgeous. All the cars look amazing, and it's going to be 4K 60 FPS on the Xbox Series X, according to the developers. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that. So look out for that. Or look out for Forza Motorsport later this year. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I told you it was going to be a short one. But let me know what games you are anticipating this year. I know there's a lot coming out. A lot of it doesn't really interest me all that much, but I know that there are a lot of you who are into things like shooters and open world RPGs and stuff like that. So I definitely love to hear what your most anticipated video games of 2023 are. So definitely let me know on social media or on Discord, and we can continue the conversation there. But that's going to wrap it up for this topic and this episode. I'll see you in the next episode. Later. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Cels and Circuits podcast. If you liked what you listened to, please give us a rating on the platform that you're listening on. If you're listening on YouTube, please give this episode a like and also consider subscribing to the channel. Lastly, be sure to follow us on social media to stay up to date with all things Cels and Circuits. Until next time, I'm Chibeze, signing off.